into the very early morning hours this morning was just how punishing these winds were, and that was no more apparent than with Tropicana Field. This is Tropicana Field. This afternoon, you can see the roof shredded there. Thankfully, there were no injuries. There were not first responders staged inside, but a loss for our community, something that we all know and love.
Luke Cleary is at Tropicana Field right now. Luke, what are you seeing there?
Well, Dave, Courtney, as you know, we were here together late last night, early this morning, as the roof was ripped right off of Tropicana Field in the wind. And when you see it here in the light of day, it is no less jarring. Take a look at this. And as you can see, the portions of the roof that are still remaining are few and far between, and the vast majority have ripped off completely. You can see some of them hanging and swaying there in the wind. But I want to show you some aerial footage that we took earlier this afternoon that will give you an even better vantage point of the damage. As you can see, parts of the debris there sitting on the field and hanging in the stands, and it's a wonder that nobody was hurt here. Officials tell us that there were 12 to 14 personnel here inside the building when the winds hit. And fortunately, they were able to get inside a secure area of the ballpark and ride it out. But as you know, earlier in the week, there were thousands of personnel staging here, linemen, members of the National Guard. They all evacuated, again, before the storm hit. So that's all just incredibly fortunate. We have a statement from the Tampa Bay Rays organization saying that their priority right now is with the community and with their staff. They also acknowledged just how fortunate it was that nobody was hurt. They did not have a spokesperson available to answer any of our questions as to whether there could have been anything done here to prevent this or what comes next. But frankly, at this early stage in the recovery, these are questions they might not have the answers to themselves. And so that brings us back to the recovery here in St. Pete. Talking to St. Pete Police Department, they said that the #1 call that they have received over the last 24 hours has been for falling trees and branches, trees falling into power lines and into people's homes. And as you reported earlier in the newscast, sadly, we did get confirmation that this was a deadly storm here in St. Pete. 2 fatalities confirmed here. One, a woman who had a medical emergency and first responders were not able to get to her. A man who was found in a park. Still details are emerging here. We're working to learn more about exactly what happened, but we know that these 2 incidents were absolutely connected with the storm. And so there's much more to see here in St. Pete. A fallen crane. We're going to bring you more information and more visuals on just what exactly unfolded here in those harsh winds, driving rain, those big gusts. You saw it all overnight. We're continuing to report here live in St. Pete. Luke Cleary, 10 Tampa Bay.
All right, Luke, let me just ask while you're there just a bit about that building there. They're pretty confident that that is structurally sound, despite the fact that it looks like it's a mess right now, that people aren't in danger. Are they keeping people away from getting close to that building? I've seen a lot of drone video out there, a lot of people taking pictures of it.
Yeah. Well, let me just step aside, and as you can see, there's no security perimeter that I can see. People could potentially just walk right up to the front gate if they wanted to. I don't see much in the way of first responders, police, no crime scene tape or anything here. So I guess that goes to show that they must be feeling that this is relatively structurally sound. And again, with the winds having died down significantly, it doesn't really look like we have the risk of pieces of the roof flying off into the air as we saw late last night.
Yeah, that was a pretty dramatic scene. Luke Cleary, thanks very much.